What are the benefits in your mind of spending a few years in the military?
Structure and just things that you pick up that you don't pick up in civilian life. This camaraderie, this teamwork, this this ability to think that I can accomplish whatever it is that I have to do. There's not a lot of things in life you have to do. There's many things that you do or you're told to do, but you pick these things and you just do what you have to do in life to make your life livable. If you're not able to adapt to change, you're never going to be a successful human being or a successful military person. You have to be able to do that. You have to. And you learn a lot of that in the military. You learn about, how to present yourself to someone else in the most possible way so it's advantageous to you.
The main thing is just be disciplined, uh, you have to give up your sense of yourself and you have to become part of a team. You have to, and that's what boot camp does. It breaks you down from being a civilian and thinking solely for yourself. And they're trying to make you part of that team, whether it's Navy or Army or Marines, particularly, are effective at that. But to kind of break down this individual that you are and turn you into a team member. And so and that's why boot camp used to be, I don't know if it still is, it used to be kind of brutal. I mean,
Mm.
you did everything they told you to do. And if you didn't, you were out running laps or, your push-ups or they're trying to make you disciplined team players. And so I guess my advice would be don't fight that. I mean, the sooner you realize that they're in charge, number one, your drill instructor or chief petty officer or whoever's over you, don't fight it. You need to just listen to them. You need to be disciplined. You need to stop thinking of just yourself and think of the team.
It would go back to the advice that stuck with me that I took to heart, and that was somebody told me, I don't even remember who it was. What, hey, oh, you're going to basic training at Fort Ord? Okay, here's my advice because he had been, probably been through it. He said, you don't want to stand up either in a good way or a bad way. You don't want to stand out. Don't do anything to draw attention to yourself. Don't volunteer to do anything, and don't cause your drill instructor any problems because either one of those, he's going to get to know your name. And then when he needs a name, it's going to be there. So just blend in. I saw guys that made trouble and they got it back times 10. And I saw guys that tried to brown nose the drill instructor. It didn't work. You know, drill instructor's not going for that. He doesn't want a buddy, you know, and so don't try to make one.
Anybody that goes into this is going to get adversity like they never had before, maybe in a football camp or something like that. But you're going to be faced with discipline, timeliness, orderliness, cleanliness, squaring away your uniform. You're going to be hit with things that you may never, I'm not saying never, but probably have never been encountered with. And that just remember that it's exactly what everybody else is going to be facing too. And it's not that tough. The other thing is that when things do get tough, just take a look to your left or your right and figure those guys are going through the same thing I am. It can't be that bad. If they're standing there, I can still stand here. There's comfort in knowing that they're going through the same thing or worse than what you're going through. If I'm cold, they're cold. And I take comfort in the fact that I'm not the only guy out here that's hurting. And that gave me some boost, I think, to get through some of the evolutions that I got through during training. I always said that when you come out of the military, you're almost a step ahead of any of your civilian peers. You've learned timeliness, you've learned responsibility, you've learned completion of projects, you've learned the way of interacting with people in a leadership manner. I don't care what level you were, you've learned some of that. And I've always felt that when you go into a civilian atmosphere, unless they're just brilliant and you're in some technical aspect, if you're in a company or a corporation or anything like that, you're going to be a step above your civilian counterparts because you learn things that they didn't learn. it puts you a notch above in competition with your civilian counterpart.